Jessie, we are back from the summit. What do we
Yep.
what do we want to talk about for our cold opening? We didn't even think about this.
Oh, I do. I know what I want to talk about.
Oh, what?
I want to talk about the fact that we all went up to like the 100th floor and tilted out and looked down. I thought I was going to pee my pants.
Was it a nightmare for you?
No, no,
What?
honestly, I have a fear of heights, everybody. And I don't know what's worse, my fear of heights or my fear of small places. So there you go. You know a little bit more about me.
Oh, I didn't know that
Never
one.
want to be in a submarine and I never want to jump out of an airplane. Like I
Okay,
never
folks.
one.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. So what Jesse's talking about is we went to the top of the John Hancock building in Chicago, and they have a cool like bar up there, and then this like 360-degree tilt experience where you stand right up to the edge with glass all around you, and then the glass, you hold on to these things, which is kind of like a workout, and the glass like
Yeah, it was hard.
tilts. I know it tilts out and you're overlooking Chicago. It was pretty cool. I
It was
think my
amazing.
it was amazing. And Jesse was sweating a little bit, but I was like, you're doing it. So just get in there. And you were fine.
Yeah.
And then we went and had a margarita afterwards in the Cloud Bar. It was, wasn't
And we
that the
got
name
to
of
see
it?
the
Cloud Bar?
I probably we were all the way up there, but
Yeah.
we got to see the sunset. What do they call it? Golden hour. It was really fun. We landed at the perfect time. So we got to do it with
which,
the team too.
yeah. So we were there with our whole team, or most everybody was there. And I just remember like looking at the sunset, and then Kevin was like, you need to put on glasses. And I was like, why? And he was like, you really shouldn't look at the sun like that.
Stop it.
And I was like,
Is that the picture of you
oh,
and Julie wearing sunglasses?
yeah, yes. Kevin was like telling me I need, and then I was like, oh, okay. Like I look at the sunset all the time. Like, don't put glasses on. He's like, oh, you're gonna mess your eyes up. So
That's
I guess
hilarious.
it's a thing, everybody. Put glasses on if you're looking at a sunset. I
Huh.
don't know.
The more you
Okay,
know.
well, let's get into it. We have a special guest today, so I'm excited. All right, episode 25, joined by my partner in crime, Jessie Suggs. We are back from the ninth annual online sales and marketing summit that we had in Chicago. And we have a special guest today, but I will get to that in just a second. Jessie, I mean, we're still decompressing, folks. So if we sound a little, I don't know, not our usual selves, we're still like processing. We're still just thinking about this amazing experience we had. And it was the largest summit ever, almost 400 attendees.
Mhm.
And Jesse, it was the largest gathering of online sales specific folks ever anywhere.
I know. And can we talk about how many first time people were there? I
Oh my
like,
God, that
I
blows
mean,
me
it was
away.
crazy.
Yeah, when we asked everybody, like, is it your first time? And there was tons of hands that came up. You know, from partners that we currently work with, meeting so many people that we have never met before that we don't work with. It was so amazing. And just having all of those online sales specialists gathered in one place, being able to talk to each other. I can remember when I went to my first summit. When was your first summit? When was the first time you went? 2017, or I
I
think it was
think it was
2017.
I think it was in Phoenix. So
Phoenix
whatever.
2017. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was the third year that we had done it. The first year that we had it was 2015, and I was still an online sales specialist and went. That was my first time. And I just remember sitting in that room, and it was literally like 75 people. And I remember looking around and being like, these are my people.
Uh-huh.
Like I felt so validated. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh my gosh, you're experiencing that too? So am I. And so just, this year looking around now, we had probably double that in just the online sales side. But we, did a lot of workshops. We let people have time to collaborate with each other, and just seeing everybody talking. Was there any specific thing you heard kind of buzzing around the room? Any specific conversations or reoccurring pain points or convos that people were having?
No, I don't think there were a lot of pain points, but like you said, Jen, I think it was a lot of people going, "Oh my gosh, these are the people who are experiencing the same thing as me." I mean, I remember when I went for the first time, I was like, "Oh man, nobody like knows what I do." Even though I was there with teammates, they knew what I did, but like
Yeah.
I was like, "Of course, everybody else does it differently." And then we get in there and we start having the conversations. And so I think the buzz and the trend was just like this feels like a safe space. And I remember feeling that same way. And so to hear it coming from so many more people, and I don't think it's because the brand of Do You Convert is growing. I think it's because people know the value of marketing and online sales now, and they're investing more and they're growing the teams. And then, of course, they know the place to get the best information.
Yeah.
But it's just fun to watch that and to see people learn and to grow. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
Jessie, what was really special and amazing for me this year was that my son, Sam, was in the audience. I got to look out and see his awesome face. And so, you know what? Let's have him join us here on Online People Talking. Welcome, Sam Barkan.
Welcome. It'd be
Hey
wrong if we
everyone.
didn't.
Hey, Sam is the inspiration for lots of my content. Um, he's appeared in many PowerPoints presentations. Even Sam, you were actually even on the stage at the NHB IBS sales rally. There was a picture of you on the stage where I was talking about confidence, because you have no lack of it. But Jessica, I wanted to have you on, not because you're so awesome as my son, but this was your first time attending the summit, and you have a unique perspective because you're actually were, in a sales associate role, right, on site at your builder. And then you've recently gone through some online sales training and doing some like crossover selling and crossover training. And so, seeing things through your eyes, it certainly gives us a unique perspective. So, welcome to Online People Talking, first of all.
Thank you for having me. This podcast is awesome. It's such an honor to be on with y'all, industry leaders. So yeah, I'm just so excited to be here and talk about this lovely little niche we have and this community. It's awesome.
Love it. So, let's first talk a little bit about you and your role. Okay, so tell us who you're working for, where in the world you are, a little
I work
backstory.
I work for Chesapeake Homes. We're located in Virginia Beach, Virginia. That's where our corporate office is. We build in coastal Virginia, coastal North Carolina, and coastal South Carolina as well. As of right now, I am filling in as a temporary online sales specialist for our lead OSC who's on maternity leave.
No pressure,
Right?
right? Filling in for the lead online sales specialist.
She's awesome. She's been doing it for 10 years. So definitely had some good training before then. But I also have an amazing partner, Danny Ross, who also has been helping me along the way. It also doesn't hurt to have Jessie as my coach as well.
Oh, Coach Jessie. What do you think about that, Jessie?
Oh man, it's so fun. I have to detach my love for you, Jen, and put on my coaching hat like you were talking about at the summit. I can't take it off for Sam. So it's fun to be able to talk to him in a different perspective.
Yeah.
And to really watch how quickly, I mean, it comes naturally to him, of course. I mean, we come from the same tree, but it's really fun. And he transitioned from on-site to online very quickly. I know it came with some, oh my gosh, this is much harder than I expected. But it's neat that you have the perspective. So
yeah. How long have you been the backup OSC, Sam?
About 6 weeks.
Okay. So
Ripe 6 weeks.
really, really fresh perspective, right? Just went through.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question is because you were working on site for like almost a year, right? But prior to that, a year-ish, right?
Yes.
What, from your perspective, what's the biggest difference between working on site? You were a sales associate, helping out the sales team out there versus online. Like, what's the biggest difference?
I think definitely on-site is more about the right now, what's going on. And online sales is about the big picture, right? We're getting in these leads and, even if they're not converting into appointments immediately, we're not just letting them go. Or we're not just focused on the next one. We are, but it's more about the big picture in online sales and nurturing these leads. And definitely on-site, it's a little bit more what's in front of me right now. If you're not, oh, you're going to buy in 2026, next one.
Right.
Where definitely, but if you don't have any online sales training on site, that's the mindset, right? So also one more thing to add on that is that people are a lot nicer in person, face to face, than they are on the phone. They have that layer of security.
Interesting.
So in my short experience in online sales, I've had a lot more rude customers than I would ever on site in the face.
Oh, that's interesting. So in person, nicer,
Yes.
on phone, tougher. Okay. So, um, what do you think your favorite thing so far has been about online sales? So not the rude customers that you've had to talk to, but what's been your favorite thing?
My favorite thing, honestly, is just the opportunities. I feel like with online sales rather than on-site, you really have a lot more reach to more people at one time. If it's a busy day, I'm having people are calling me all day. I mean, and then I get online registrations. I mean, I have too many people to talk to. So definitely the opportunity to just get to as many people as I, can. That is probably my favorite thing.
Okay. Very cool. Okay. So opportunity. Jessie, anything to ask there or add there?
No, I think just something when Sam came over into online sales world, there was a transition period of still working on site and then also working online. And there are some things that are the same. Sam walking into working with an on-site who's established, to get some reps in and to understand kind of the conversations that happen. I know you were tapping into the on-sites leads that didn't convert, and that's really kind of like doing online sales because they've been in there, maybe they're aged. So it's interesting. I wonder if those people, if you call them back when they've been on site, sing a different tune. So that would be interesting to see.
Sam, any thoughts on that? One of your first assignments was doing the prospecting.
I would say I learned a lot just from doing that, and I really do think it set me up for better success online for online sales. It was definitely difficult just pulling this bucket of thousands of people over the last, I don't know, 10 years, maybe like 5 years. So it definitely humbles you for sure. Definitely felt humbled. And really what I tried to take out of that is even if I'm not getting the appointment, the very least I'm doing is cleaning up their database to set them up for success. And at the end of the day, it's up to whether it's on-site or online, if you're going to utilize that database. So that definitely helped me, one, get a better understanding for online sales, but when I come back to on-site sales, I'll have the process down.
Yeah. Is your ultimate goal to go back to on-site sales, would you say? He's like,
It's
why did you ask me that?
definitely a tough question because I love both things. I'm having so much fun doing this online sales role, and honestly, that's even a tougher question since the summit, because
Ooh.
going to that summit, and I know I spoke with Mike about this. Um, when you go there, there's such a sense of community there, and it really makes you want to buy it. And that's what I think is so cool about the whole thing is, and I learned a lot from Jesse and you and everybody else, but I learned a ton just from talking to people, and they were so willing to give up that information.
Mm,
So from being there, it definitely makes it a harder, like, oh, what would I rather do?
mm.
So definitely a
That's so
difficult question.
cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. But that's really a unique perspective that you have. I mean, again, having worked on site and then working online and going through the training, like you said, I mean, you have an amazing coach, Jesse, that's giving you lots of information. But the question I was going to ask you is, like attending the summit for the first time, like, did you have any aha moments because you didn't know what to expect, you
Uh,
know? It's not like I come home and give everybody at home a debrief on everything that happens at the summit, right? So you really
yeah.
were coming in like not, knowing really what to expect. So did you have any like, oh my gosh, what were your aha moments?
Well, definitely the first aha moment was I realized this is why you come home and you don't want to say anything to us the first 2 days. I was like, that makes sense. Because it is
What,
a
how
lot.
I become a zombie, like a cocoon mom
Yes.
after? Yeah.
Yes. That is definitely the first aha I've had.
Hmm.
Just other ones really just picking up tidbits of information that helps me, like admin work, things on Lasso that I just didn't know. Um, uh, just things like that where it's like, oh, aha, that makes my life so much easier. Um,
Okay.
so definitely things like that.
Was there anybody that you met that really, made an impact on you?
Absolutely. I met Will Duderstadt from
Oh,
MI
nice.
Homes, and
Yes.
he did a little segment on the opening on the first day, and I thought it was so cool. And so I got a chance to speak with him after lunch, and just a really cool human being. And that guy definitely made an impact on me just from speaking with him.
Aw.
Yeah, I agree. I second that. I went up to him. I said, "Man, why'd you have to make me cry
I know.
on day one?"
Yeah, just to catch you guys up that did not attend. Will is the CMO of MI Homes, and he spoke about having a mentor in your life. That was kind of his opening segment, which was really touching. And he had everybody like write down like who's that mentor and that's made an impact in your life. Um, and then he went on to talk about his experience. It was really very cool. That's awesome, Sam. Any key takeaways as an online sales specialist that you're like, okay, I'm gonna go implement that? Anything stand out to you?
Yes, absolutely. I would say in general, not only for online sales, just but for my professional, even almost personal life, I really liked the pro versus amateur segment that Jesse and Mike did, because it really made me think. They gave out these 5 things that pros do, that amateurs do, and what
Mm-hmm.
can take you to that level. And I sat back in our workout session and reflected, and I was like, man, there's a few of those things that I don't do.
Mm-hmm.
And if, especially someone so new to this online
Yeah.
sales, I was like, I didn't even know like I didn't even know how to do that or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely some things like that. I would say time blocking is the biggest thing for me. And organizing my day properly, something
Mm-hmm.
that I'm definitely looking forward and have even started today, to implement that. And just those habits, creating that, with me and my partner as well. It's definitely was my favorite one of my favorite segments, but definitely something I'm implementing.
I remember coming back when I was in the seat. Even, I think people don't realize how inspired we get as coaches too
Yeah.
from just the energy in the room
Mm-hmm.
and being able to put faces with names and give hugs and all of those things. So we come back equally as inspired as you guys, I think. But when I was an OSC and I was in your seat, Sam, I remember coming back going, okay, I feel like I just totally infiltrated my brain with so much stuff. Like I'm like
Yeah.
super excited. I want to do it. And then I was like, okay, now how do I do it? And so I like that you've picked out a couple of things that you're already implementing instead of delaying and saying, well, I'll
Yeah.
figure it out when things slow down. Because you
Yeah.
probably know now things never
Yeah.
slow down. So that's awesome.
I
Yeah.
think definitely to add on to that, it's more of like it's not necessarily an analysis paralysis, but it's a thing of there's so much information in 2 days. And I kind of did, I kind of felt this when I went to the Builder Show in February. Now, in my opinion, the DYC Summit gives you the most up-to-date and accurate hip information, more than the Builder Show. But besides that, um, there's so many things you want to do, and you feel so energized
Mhm.
and you feel so enthusiastic, and then you get back and you're like, oh, I'm busy. That was definitely the mindset of what's in front of me right now. Um, Definitely taking the time to time block. From there,
Mhm.
you can add on those things, and definitely the hardest thing is taking a step back from your busy day to day and being like, all right, what's one thing I can do today that's different? How can I be better today? What can I take from this? And then maybe next week I can take this and do that.
Yeah. I love that. It is overwhelming, and that's really good advice from you and Jessie is with anything, a webinar you listen to or in any sort of training or conference or anything that you go to, you probably have a notebook full of notes, right? You have a workbook full of notes. Yes, we had workbooks this year. Side note, look at that.
Did in her workbook.
It's shout out to Diego on our creative team. We have
Yes.
workbooks this year. So you have a workbook full, right, of information and going through and saying, okay, what's one thing this quarter that I'm going to focus on? And just, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Because otherwise it is overwhelming, right, Sam? And you get like kind of stuck. Like, I don't know what to do first,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just pick one thing
Mm.
and make small incremental changes. I love that. Jessie, any other questions for Sam about the summit that come to mind for you?
I don't think I have any questions for him, but I think as we're talking, I'm putting myself back in like 2017 mode. And I didn't realize at the time how much an investment that the company was making,
Mm-hmm.
both time, financially, just all of the things that go into sending somebody to something to
Mm-hmm.
better them.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And so if you did go, take all your notes, do a presentation for your leadership, like do
Mm-hmm.
something to say thank you, because
Yeah.
this isn't just you go because it's a part of your job. This is you get
Mm-hmm.
to go because we
Yeah.
value you here.
Great
So
advice.
yeah.
Yeah. Say thank you. It is a big investment, not only in your career, but for you personally to
Mhm.
develop. I think that's kind of what Sam is saying. It's helped him personally. And if you're wondering, as an online sales specialist, if you're listening to this, should you attend? Absolutely. We have two tracks. We have an online marketing track, and then we have an online sales track. And, you going through the online sales side, like I said, biggest gathering of online sales specialists in the world in one place. And you heard it from Sam, where you get all the up to date information, best education around. I did not pay him to say that.
That's right.
um, okay, well, thank you, Sam. I would love for you to stay on while we do our skills check if you are able to.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, Jessie, let's do a skills check because you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Wreck yourself. I said that a lot at the summit too. I was like, you
I
got
know.
to check yourself. Okay, we are entering into Q4, right? So we've got October, November, and December left. So, Jessie, what are your thoughts for online? What should they be doing right now to ramp up in Q4?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. And when we did a session at the summit of Coaches Tell All, we did kind of a couple of things we wish we knew when we were in online sales, having now been on the other side. And one of those things is like knowing beyond your numbers. And I know we talk about it feels like we always talk about prospecting. We always talk about knowing your numbers, your metrics, and all of those things. And it's great to understand them. And Jen knows this. I'm a questioner. But I wasn't
Yes,
always
that
a
is true.
questioner. I wasn't always a questioner. At least I wasn't vocal about it until I was more confident. And so if you guys are in online sales and you're listening to this, which I assume that you are, a skills check that I think everybody should be thinking about, whether you went to the summit or you didn't go to the summit or whatever, is in Q4, one, what does success look like for you and what does success look like for your company? Because it's one thing to do your job. And like Sam was saying in the pro versus amateur, to like do your job is great, but to do beyond your job makes you a true professional. And so being able to forecast what you can contribute in Q4 is going to blow your leader's socks off. So what I mean by that is go to your leader. So here's your skills check. Go to your leader, ask what your total Q4 company sales goal is. So not closings, how many homes, ratified contracts do they want/need written in October, November, and December? Because some builders, they're in a good place. You know, maybe they've had a really good selling season and they're kind of on cruise control and they feel good. Some people are on pace and they're like, we've got to hit these, but we're feeling okay. And some people go, oh my gosh, we got to get a lot of
alarm fire. We got all hands on deck.
Yes. What will really impress your leader and what will help you set specific goals is learning what that is, number one, and then what you will contribute based on your current metrics. So kind of forecasting and doing the backwards math. It's something Sam and our team, the team at Chesapeake, has been talking about a lot recently is, okay, if the goal is this and I contribute this, how many appointments will I need? And in order to get those appointments, how many leads do I need? And it's not going, oh, well, I'm never going to get that many leads because that doesn't achieve anything, right? What do I need to do in order to replace the lack of leads? Because there's seasonality in the year. And we know that. So going back and doing all those things. So figuring out what success looks like.
Yeah. Use your benchmarks to use your current conversions to work backwards. You've got this sales goal. How many sales need to come from your online sales program in order to get that? How many appointments do you need to set? Sam, did Jessie give you some specific goals or did you guys do that exercise?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We did. We came up with them. We have them written down. Our leader, Nicole, she's honest about it too. We're all involved. So it's definitely something we're working towards. I think Nicole or my sales leader mentions it to me every day. 50 appointments, 5 sales. So that's the standard now.
So you have 50 appointments that you need to get this month, and 5 sales.
Yes, that is the goal to, with the math that Jessie did, to reach our Q4 goals.
Love it. And how are you doing so far in October?
October's
7 days in.
He's like, I just got back from the summit.
I wasn't at work all last week, and
I would say that this past weekend and 4 days has been good. We're off to a good start. We're starting to see sales trickle in from last month. So that's good. Just, grinding away and like Jessie said, we're grinders here. So we're going to get it done regardless of what happens. It's just, we're worried about what we can do and we're going to get it done.
Yeah. Love it. Hustle. All right. So fun story as we wrap this up. Jessie knows this. So when Sam was in high school, he would, before he left for school every day, he would come into my office and he would say, okay, Mom, we're going to dominate the day. and he would give me his fist, and he'd go 1, 2, 3, dominate. And it really kind of has caught on. Mm-hmm. And we do it with teams. We do it with Online Sales Academy. We did it at the beginning of the summit. Yeah, we did it at the beginning of the summit. So Sam, Jessie, we're going to put our fists in the middle. Take us out, Sam.
All right. This was episode 25 of Online People Talking with Jen Barkan and her partner in crime, Jessie Suggs. Dominate on 3, dominate on me. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
Dominate. Woo! All right.
That's the energy we need.
Man. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Jessie.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, y'all.